By George, I think I've got it.
Hybrothetical Thinking.
I saw that Bigfoot walking across the screen and I thought to myself, wow, they are real.
I ask us all, is that really reasonable?
Hybrothetical Thinking.
My personal belief is that there is very compelling evidence that we may not be alone.
I'll show you a little of the evidence.
Hybrothetical Thinking.
Researchers at Stanford University School of Medicine have pioneered a cancer vaccine that eliminated all traces of cancer in mice.
You could find evidence of that, my friends. You could change the world.
Hybrothetical Thinking, a podcast for the hypothetical thinker.
Greetings, travelers, and welcome to, yep, you guessed it, Hybrothetical Thinking, a semi-informed podcast that explores the journey from probability through Johnny's fingertips, out his elbow, and you know what? You'll get a lightning storm. So my name is Nick Floyd, and I'm joined by my dashing, very Three Musketeer-esque co-hosts.
Hello, I'm Taylor Nelson.
Oh, I'm Johnny Clark.
And one of their British accents is much better than the other
that
one
was bad. I admit that. That was bad. I messed it up.
That one was bad.
Mine kind of switched into an Australian accent.
Yeah, I think we both... Can we do that?
That was very confusing. I confused myself.
My name is Johnny Clark, and I am on Hybrothetical Thinking.
Johnny's trying to go full Orlando Bloom, and it's not working.
Regardless, Taylor or Nick, is it just me, or is our intros becoming more about my anatomy?
It's all about how your body works. It's body science.
I don't think my body works the way you're displaying it works.
Well, I'll tell you something about the way things work.
How do they work?
The way things work on this podcast is that either Taylor or myself will do the research for our weekly episodes, and then Johnny McJohnster.
I know how you say it now.
We'll go into every episode completely blind. Sorry, I had a mild stroke there.
Guys, the word research is in quotes there. It's research.
We read
research.
Wikipedia. And watch YouTube and sometimes peruse Netflix for documentaries that are cutting edge and seem relevant enough to keep us relevant.
Yeah. And I go in every episode blind.
Yeah. Blind as a bat, which is a false statement.
Yeah. Bats are really great at seeing
bats.
things. Yeah. Bats. They have great vision, just like dolphins and beluga whales for echolocation.
Johnny's struggling with his A's today.
Am I?
Yeah.
A is
Am
bats.
I?
Was that English? I didn't mean for that to be English. I'm sorry.
No, that was your struggle with the letter A.
Bats.
Did I say it that way? Regardless, I go over so blind and I don't know what they're saying. All I have is a piece of paper in front of me and a pen to keep me.
There he goes with his A's again. A pan.
Is that? Do I really say it?
It's a pen.
Do I really enunciate my A's?
I don't know, man. It's episode 15, and it seems like we've done a lot of LSD before the podcast.
We have done zero LSD, I promise.
Listen, I will say right now, I'm going to clear this up. There are no drugs consumed in or around the time that we record this
Surprisingly
podcast.
enough, we don't do any drugs before.
It's the zero tolerance zone where I live. I mean, Metro Atlanta has zero tolerance around here.
Is it really?
Dude, absolutely. Yeah, they are not cool. I guess in the inner city, Fulton County, like downtown Atlanta, they recently decriminalized marijuana, but that did not extend out to the far reaches of Metro Atlanta, where I live. It's still very illegal.
I think it's highly illegal.
Highly illegal.
Whoa! That was very highly, I guess. You peaked my headphones.
Oh, how are you? How the hell are you?
God, man, I don't know about you guys, but I'm doing okay. We've been up and down as far as weather goes around here, but I'm dealing with it. I'm loving it. How you guys doing?
I'm great. I'm super good. We just did a couple commercial shoots, podcasting. Still more stuff. We can't talk about it yet. That's coming up. Really big stuff. Actually, you might have seen one of the things on Facebook. We did a post.
Huge.
It's not huge. And I mean, things like that, to that nature, and above and beyond. To infinity and beyond that are going to be super cool coming up. So just working on that stuff in Hybro. So I'm great. Also, it rained a whole lot yesterday, and let me tell you, I loved it. Not because of Nick said I have a fetish for rain, but just because I like rain.
He likes the rain.
I like rain.
Does a rain fetish exist?
Yeah, and it's Johnny Clark coined it, created it.
You coined it. I was just the victim.
It's a victim of rain fetish.
No, you saying it that I have it.
Sure. Whatever makes you sleep at night.
Rain makes me sleep at night.
There you go.
Let me see. Here we go.
Oh, no.
It is called urolagnia. Yeah.
Is my picture next to it?
Oh wait, no, this is not what urolagnia. It is what it sounds like. Never mind.
Is it? Oh, I don't want to talk about it.
I don't want to talk about that.
Gross.
I definitely don't have that.
I typed in rain fetish. That was the first thing that popped up, so it's not my fault.
Technically, it's the world's fault. Corruption.
Oh, good Lord.
Urolagnia. Look it up, people.
Don't do it.
So, from these last 2 episodes, I've been shooketh, and I'm really excited to see what we're talking about today. So
It's going to be great. But before we jump in,
sorry.
I'm not. Listen. The most important part of every podcast, it's not the bulk of the content. It's the news.
The freaking news, people.
And Taylor's going to take us on a journey through what we've been missing in the news.
So I started out looking for news. I knew what I wanted to look for. There was a story here that happened in Metro Atlanta a couple weeks ago, and it sounded crazy as shit. And it was right here on my back door, so I wanted to look it up and find something crazy on it, but unfortunately, there is no new info on the subject. But basically, it was a dude was found in a beer freezer, a beer cooler, at the new Braves Stadium here in Atlanta.
What? In one piece?
From what I could find, he was in one full piece.
A beer fridge?
Yeah, a beer cooler. He was a contracted worker who was contracted to work in some way at the park. And our park is kind of weird. It's not only a baseball field, a baseball complex, but connected to it is tons of bars, restaurants, a couple of hotels, and they're always open.
Wait,
even if there's
I
not a
think I've
game.
been there. We've been there, right?
The Brave Stadium. Yeah, we walked we walked pizza there.
Right?
That's where we went. That's
Oh,
exactly
shit.
where we went.
Okay. I know where it is now. Okay.
Yeah, so dude, 50
It wasn't
yards
me.
from where we ate, is this beer cooler where this guy died. This beer cooler, I guess, is accessible just from the street. So I guess that's what was weird about it.
What a weird way to. Wow.
It was
Someone
weird.
just dumped a body there.
Somebody just dumped a body,
Was it Disney?
It's unexplained at this point. Couldn't find any new info on it. Not sure if it was a murder or a suicide, but could have been either one. But
Walt Disney.
That's crazy.
It's probably Walt Disney.
It's Walt Disney.
More than likely. But no, it brought me to this other case that was strangely connected to my life. In 2011, when I first moved to Los Angeles, this story popped up on the news the week I move out there. Right?
Okay.
Might have been the day, dude. I'm not even sure. Might have been the day I got there. This fucking story pops up, and there is video footage of this. It's a famous story. An Asian woman, young Asian lady, maybe in her 20s, I believe. She's pretty young. She's seen kind of frantically wandering around this building. She's seen in all the camera footage and stuff, getting in and out of elevators, going up and down elevators, and then she eventually is just not seen on the footage anymore. But a couple weeks go by after she goes missing, and people in this building start complaining of their water tasting weird and being of odd colors. And the way they delivered water to all the rooms in this building, they had a giant reservoir, water tank on the top of the building.
Okay.
And I guess they would get water up into that, and they pump it to all the rooms. Well, so they go search this thing. This chick is found in the water tank.
Decomposing?
Yeah, that's exactly what they were tasting.
Oh, that's nasty.
You know what's crazy about it is there's no logical way into the tank, no logical way out of the tank. They can't figure out how she got in there.
Maybe she was born in there. I don't know.
But it's weird.
Yeah,
I mean,
good observation, Johnny.
I don't know. That's crazy.
There's all kinds of crazy footage of her, moments before, she goes missing, I guess. When she's last seen is security footage from this hotel. She's acting weird, in the elevator, up in a corner, just looking weird, possibly tripping out. You brought up LSD earlier. I mean, they assumed that she was just some chick on acid, that they're looking at in the cameras until her body was found a couple of weeks later.
This kind of sounds like the Asian kid from Hangover 2.
It's like the witch. No,
Yeah,
it's
exactly.
like a witch.
Cooler.
She could be a witch or something.
Yeah, how did she
How did
separate
she get in
into
there?
this cooler?
How did she get in there? It's crazy.
I don't, especially if it's but these people they're drinking bacteria and so much. There's a whole lot of things that could have gone wrong. Not only with bacteria spreading, but that could be uber deadly.
It's
not only
gross,
nasty.
dude. Oh, gross. I mean,
That's
bad enough
nasty.
to where it tastes weird. I guess it would taste weird pretty quickly, though.
Yeah, you know it was like, oh, this water tastes like irony blood.
And according to
bone
South
marrow.
Park, the first thing that happens when you die is you poop.
Oh, yeah. All your innards.
So
exit,
whatever she had
yeah.
in there, unless she was completely clean, which is possible. It's possible.
It was
She's
all your
on like a
innards,
juice
yeah.
cleanse or something. Otherwise, those people were drinking some shit.
That's nasty. That's
And now Johnny's uncomfortable.
I don't like-
Someone get him a blanket.
Hey, shut up. I don't like this kind of stuff.
He needs a blanket.
But whatever.
But
Let's
you know
move
what?
on.
All this shit talk, it brings me to
Whatever.
the actual piece of news that I found for today's news piece.
That was okay, what? That wasn't it.
That was a segue into today's news piece.
What a segue.
So a woman in Kelowna, British Columbia, I don't know how to
Hey!
pronounce that, somewhere in BC,
I've
where the
been
buds
there.
are good. You been there? I heard the weather there is insane.
Dude,
and
British Columbia is like, I love British Columbia. Vancouver, Whistler, you got me on cloud
Oh,
nine.
God, here he goes about Whistler again.
I love
Get him on the Whistler train.
British
He'll stay
Columbia
on it for
is-
an hour.
British Columbia is the best Columbia.
Well,
Johnny loves Whistler.
Well, this lady, Susan Allen, and her son are driving down the road, blah, 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 blah. This happened about a month ago, 2 months ago. And they're sitting in their car at a stoplight. They got their sunroof open, just enjoying a nice day.
Yeah.
While they're sitting there, they feel a cold sensation hit both of their faces. And the next thing I know, they're covered in poop.
Oh.
Not only are they covered in poop, their car is covered in poop. The poop's all inside the car because it came through the sunroof. The car next to them is covered in poop.
What? Why are we talking about poop?
Johnny's so uncomfortable.
I don't like poop talk.
Well,
like
if it makes you
covering-
feel any better, this was somewhat liquefied poop. So
It's bird poop, right?
no, man,
What?
an investigation is still going on, but
Out of the nowhere. So you're telling me that New York City sent all their poop down to Alabama in episode
Right.
7, and then it ended up in British Columbia, Vancouver, way up in the west.
yeah,
We gotta-
apparently they ship it to Alabama to then get put onto planes and get
We got a
flown
poop
over
conspiracy,
Canada.
fellas.
And as it's
Dude.
flying over Canada, they just randomly release it.
If
So-
you guys haven't listened to episode 7, it probably makes no sense what we're just talking about, but you go back and listen to it.
I
a
think it's
doozy.
pretty common knowledge that New York ships are poop down to Alabama.
I had no idea until episode. No, I had no idea.
Yeah, so what's crazy about this, there were 3 planes apparently in the area that had to have come from one of these 3 planes.
Oh, wait. Oh, they just dropped?
Just dropped, yeah.
Like a
But what was
payload?
different about this, is, that it's
What?
possible that could happen because, the planes have like a receptacle, a septic tank on them that stores all the poop.
The human waste.
And
then
then
it releases
they
it.
It could've burst.
drain it when they get back to port or whatever, or they get back to the airport. So it could fuck up and just open up and all that shit comes out. But what's weird about it is they call it blue ice because when it does pop open
It's blue.
and it starts draining out of the plane, it like instantly freezes basically on the side of the plane, and it's blue. It's all blue. You've peed in an airplane before. It's blue.
Yeah.
This shit was not blue. It was just straight up some shit. So it's possible
Blue-
that it could have, melted on the
Not-
way down before it hit the
Yeah.
car, but I think it would still be blue.
I'm like 90% sure Blue Ice is the name of an Orbit's gum flavor, and now I'm never going to be able to eat that flavor again.
Try Orbit.
Thanks, Taylor. Dirty Mouth, clean it up with some airplane shit.
That was good.
Hey, well, one more piece of news, because this was just
Oh
a circle
my
of fucking
gosh,
news today,
this keeps
guys.
Whoa.
So as I said, I was originally looking for the, info on the guy who died at the new SunTrust Park.
I forgot about that already.
Because it was so groundbreaking. But no, I stumbled upon a clip of an Atlanta Braves fan. This happened like 2 days ago, I think. Maybe last night. It happened recently. We're playing the Padres, and this Padres fan, unfortunately, she appears to be a Padres fan. I wish I could say that she was a Braves fan. But this chick named Gabby DeMarco catches a foul ball with her beer, and is like celebrating. Everyone's like, chug it, chug it.
Yeah, I've seen that video.
She fucking chugs the whole thing. Such a boss.
Wait, was that the story?
That's the whole story, dude.
Wow.
Gabby
Taylor.
DeMarco wows the
That was-
crowd.
That was.
I love the full circle of that. And it was like, man found dead at Brave Stadium.
Oh.
Here's a crazy story of a woman who was found in a septic tank. And then septic tanks to air shit. And then air shit to Gabby DeMarco drinking a full beer.
at Brave Stadium.
It was also a fly ball, so that's the air. It connects there, see? It connects.
Wow, Taylor.
Hey, go Braves. Go Braves. Chop on.
I didn't even. We think we broke Nick.
He broken.
This whole episode's just going to be one big old mind fuck.
I don't even know what we're talking about today. Nick knows so much more than I do.
I don't care what we're talking about today. I'm going to relate it to poop, fly balls, and water coolers.
Those are 3 things I don't care about. I don't like at all.
I'm gonna somehow relate it to bending it like Beckham. Then how about that? I'll throw one of those in there.
Here's a good old Johnny.
Do you even know what the game was verse?
Oh my God!
What?
Greece.
No, it was about coming to terms with your heritage, wasn't it?
England versus Greece. That's what the game was.
Taylor just knows it's about the moral values of heritage.
Yeah, heritage. Just accepting your heritage and realizing that, hey, maybe you are different, but we're all the same. I thought that's what it was about.
His goal or the documentary?
Bend him like Beckham. Bend it like Beckham.
The
Bend it like
movie
Beckham
starring
is a movie.
Keira Knightley.
Yeah, bro.
I'm just saying.
Oh, we got a fake fan.
No, dude, I don't care about what the artist's interpretation of an actual game was. It was so much more important than a.
Wasn't even about a game. It wasn't about the game at all. It was just about Keira Knightley and her friend who were both soccer players.
Then why would I care?
Because you're a soccer guy.
Yeah, you're a soccer guy.
I don't
it's a
care
soccer
about
movie, and it's Keira Knightley.
That's not how it works. I'm a Keira Knightley fan as well, but like that's not bending like Beckham.
Dude, clearly not. Have you seen Domino?
You're saying that because I haven't seen
Have
a
you
movie.
seen Domino?
Yeah, you're saying. Wait, no, wait a second. Yes, you're saying because I haven't seen a movie about Keira Knightley in soccer, I'm not a soccer fan.
Or a Keira Knightley fan.
I guess. I'd say it makes me less of a Keira Knightley fan.
It makes you less of both,
check
Johnny.
Nick's Instagram if you want to find out how much of a soccer fan I am.
Yeah, Germany's out of the World Cup, which was the greatest day of my fucking life.
Pretty pissed off about it.
Why are you so pumped about Germany, Johnny?
I have about a quarter German blood in me. I've been a German fan for a long time. My favorite club team is Manchester United in England and Bayern Munich in Germany. So I've been a German fan for a long time.
And a close number 3 is ACLU. Yeah.
Taylor, my third favorite is Atlanta because you're from Atlanta and I represent you. But
all right. There we go,
whatever,
ACLU.
Taylor.
We got you a new fan. We got you a supporter.
Whatever.
It's Friday, y'all. It's Friday, y'all.
It's Friday.
Sure.
Oh, it's Monday.
It's Monday technically, but let's be honest. It's Friday, y'all.
What day is it, sir?
It's Friday.
Well, sir,
I'm Mary Poppins,
it's
y'all.
Christmas Day.
It's so before I jump in, I just want to take a second because our listens have been up lately, which is fantastic.
Yeah, they have.
And I think it's because of one reason. So I'm just going to go ahead and say it right now, and then we're going to move on because this is all that people want to hear. I'm going to say Ariana Grande and Pete Davidson. That's it. That's it.
Oh, my God.
I'm just going to say it.
It's not it.
All right, so moving on. So you guys ready for today's topic?
Something had to have happened. Some shit happened with Pete Davidson this week. I mean, did we manifest this via Mandela? I'm not sure how we manifested. Apparently, apparently our podcast is like steering the boat of social consciousness right now.
Dude, just
since
wait
we
until
started this podcast.
Wait till they recruit us into the Bohemian Grove. You guys need to come to the Bohemian Grove. You've been changing the world. We need you at this place.
No, I'm not even joking. Did you hear this dumb shit about Pete Davidson, though?
Dumb shit?
BDE? You've been hearing about this, dude?
Yeah.
Dude.
Oh, my God.
Dude, it's ridiculous, dude.
Oh,
it's some kind of thing. It's sweeping the nation right now, sweeping the social medias. Not really into pop culture. So I'm like, why are we talking about Ariana Grande and Pete Davidson again?
Oh, my God.
I don't know. I thought some dude on Twitter coined this phrase, BDE. They called it big dick energy. And
energy?
Energy, yeah. Apparently, it's a new term that has been coined, and everybody is using it.
And it's all about the BDE.
BDE. Apparently, that's what he possesses that is allowing him to bag amazing women. Aside from him being very successful.
Yeah, but BDE isn't just for men. It's also for women.
It's not about being a guy, yeah. Apparently, Carrie Fisher had it, they say.
Cardi B's got the BDE. Carrie Fisher's got the BDE.
Lagatha from Vikings is the epitome of woman embodiment of BDE.
Confidence, essentially?
It's essentially confidence in... Yeah.
I boiled it down to bravado. I was like, that word exists, right? I thought that's what it was.
Yeah. I never
something
thought...
like that.
Oh, whatever.
What Taylor's trying to say is, let's just stop calling it big dick energy and let's just
weird.
call it bravado.
Yeah, let's call it like something that already exists.
Let's just call it an actual definition instead of finding some dude on Twitter.
Confidence.
Yeah, let's call it confidence.
He said he was, I guess the original guy was talking about Anthony Bourdain.
He was talking
like,
about Anthony Bourdain. Rest in peace, my friend.
Yeah, R.I.P. So I guess that's a good example of what this energy is. And everyone knows who Anthony Bourdain is. He's like a badass. Like, I don't give a fuck. I do what I want. Kind of thing.
Sounds like Taylor Nelson.
Am I right? BD in the flesh, dog.
Dog.
Doubt.
So now that we've gained all the listeners that are 18 and under, we can now move forward to today's topic.
I don't know.
Hope 18 and under kids did not know the news that came out because
we've got like the 16 to 24 crowd now.
Well, that's the Ariana Grande father. But if you talk about the Pete Davidson, you're talking about Saturday Night Live. That's like 35 plus.
Dude, it was a
35 and
publicity
over.
stunt. She literally was like, I want to gain followers of the older crowd. Let me date this or marry this guy.
No, somehow meet in the middle. Somehow. Like meet in this mid-30s where that's us. Holy shit. Or that's me actually. But
That's you.
That's me.
I'm early 20s.
Okay, so you're still in the Ariana Grande phase then.
I don't think I've ever listened to an Ariana Grande song full way through.
We need to then, just so we know who we're talking about. I have no idea.
I don't want to be the residential Ariana Grande guy. I don't want to be that guy.
By default, it's definitely not me, so it has to be one of you two. So you guys have to decide who it is at that point.
Guys, I have a confession to make.
It's Nick.
I'm an Ariana Grande guy, which is why I got her name wrong 2 podcasts ago.
I'm not going to lie. One of my friends started listening to the podcast, and she, I guess, started on like 3 episodes ago. And she was immediately texted me. It's like, Taylor, what the fuck? You're talking about Ariana Grande, but you guys said Selena Gomez.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, shit. Oh, wait till the next episode. We correct it.
She caught you. Wow.
Yeah, she called you out hard.
Speaking of friends who listen to the podcast, I want to make a shout out to Kevin Beckfar.
I just typed that in my notes.
Oh, really? Oh,
yeah.
I'm doing it right now. Kevin Beckfar, an awesome tattoo artist that we happen to know very well, very socially, very personally. Likes to listen to our podcast while tattooing his clients. Thank you, Nick, for doing that right in the middle of this little shout out. Anyways, he's a great guy. He listens to the podcast, did a little promotion thing on Instagram, and I love you, dude. Thank you, Kevin. You're awesome.
Dark helmet tattoo. Dark helmet tattoo.
Is that what it's called?
Yeah, dude. Yeah. So some kind of friend you are, Johnny.
I guess I'm not a fan of anything, guys. What's my identity? Damn.
Clearly. You should bend it more like Beckham. All right, so you guys ready for today's topic?
Tony.
Yeah.
I'm excited, yeah.
Oh, hey, guys. It's just one of your high bros here. I just wanted to pass along a 10% savings at futuremonsters.com. If you're into the Wolfman, if you're into Frankenstein, King Kong, Dracula, you can go to futuremonsters.com and you save yourself 10% on any of the high-quality threads. They got amazing designs on a quality fabric print. I'll tell you right now, I got one last week. It feels really good on my body. If you want to save 10%, put some stuff in your shopping cart, enter into the coupon code. You want to enter in capital HYBRO. That's capital HYBRO. That's Hybro. Capital HYBRO. Get yourself 10% off.
This is going to be a big one. This is going to be a good one. Guys, I'm going to touch on a lot of things, right? You're going to have to follow along. But in order to get to my key point of this whole entire episode, I got to drop some things and we'll cover them in the future like usual. I'm not going to, if you're like, hey, Nick, why did you not dive head first into that specific porthole? And I'll tell you why, because we're going to cover it later.
There's a lot of episodes to cover.
There's a lot. We're going to keep this train running until we hit the top 100 episodes, and then we're going to give up. So here we go. Many moons ago, there was a small, bearded teenage boy with glasses. A boy who was curious about life, the future, and the world. A boy curious about science, technology, and where advancements to both would take us. If you haven't guessed by now, I'll tell you, that boy was me.
I knew it was you.
Yep, surprise.
A bearded little boy.
Wait, you didn't wear glasses. Your driver's license.
Johnny, it's all for the story. I was living life to its fullest and feeling positive. I felt as though I was on the top of the world and that I had a clear and conscious path guiding me towards my own future. But one day, that all came crumbling down. It was 2008 when I heard the news. This could be my last year on Earth, I thought. This could be anyone's last year on Earth. With one powerful collision, our world could be gone in a flash. It was at that moment that I felt the world on top of me. It was at that moment that I first learned about the Large Hadron Collider.
Ooh.
Collider.
The Large Hadron Collider we talked about in episode 2.
The Large Hydrogen Collider, Johnny.
That's a Hadron?
It's Hadron.
Hadron. Halcyon.
Oh. Well,
the thing responsible for Sinbad's destroyed career.
wait, you're saying you thought the world was going to end not Y2K, but in 2008 because you found out there was a Hadron Collider?
Hadron Collider?
Well, he
Yes.
was already over the fact that the world didn't end in Y2K. So naturally, you got to progress to the next, deadline. Then it was like 2012 after that. And then what are we on now? It was supposed to be 2017? I'm not sure what it is now.
So, Nick, you're saying that you found out they were trying to make black hole theory by smashing particles together at like speed of light, and that made you scared?
We're going to get into that. So that entire opening was a misdirection of sorts because I won't be focusing all of my energy on the Large Hadron Collider.
Or you?
I will be explaining what exactly the LHC is, which will then guide me directly to CERN, which is the home of the LHC. But before we dive into that, we must first discuss the LHC and how it could have been the end of the world as we know it. So you just got to wait, Johnny. It's patience. Patience. Who won the race? The horse or the hare?
Isn't it?
It's a tortoise.
Isn't it? My brain hurts right now.
It's irrelevant.
Okay.
I would like to see a rabbit in a horse race.
I mean, in fact, humans cannot run horses in endurance. It's just the speed that we lose.
Really?
Mm-hmm. It's a fact.
Fun facts with Johnny Clark.
Oh, wow.
Anyways, so Nick, what is this?
That was real fun, actually. That was a fun
fact.
CERN.
Wee! So it's CERN is where our topic is?
Johnny,
CERN.
Ask me what the Large Hadron Collider is.
We'll go back to that. Nick, what is the Large Hadron Collider?
Funny you say that. The Large Hadron Collider is actually the world's largest and most powerful particle collider, the most complex experimental facility ever built, and the largest single machine in the world, which means it's not dating anybody. It's relationship free.
Oh.
It's single.
There's no other machine that can relate to it. That's the problem.
Yeah, exactly.
This is going over my head.
Exactly.
Okay.
It was built by CERN between 1998 and 2008 with the help of over 10,000 scientists and more than 100 countries.
Holy shit.
The LHC is a series of tunnels that lies 574 feet beneath the France-Switzerland border near Geneva and is 17 miles in circumference. 17 miles. The key purpose of the LHC was to answer some of the fundamental open questions in physics concerning the basic laws governing the interactions and forces among the elementary objects, the deep structure of space and time, and in particular the interrelation between quantum mechanics.
Quantum mechanics.
I wrote an episode too smart for me. Quantum mechanics and general relativity.
Mm-hmm. Wow.
So they were even open. I'll summarize all that for the people who are of the mental capacity of me. The whole bottom line is that they were trying to answer questions like, the only one that matters, are there extra dimensions and can we detect them?
Man, I think they can. I know they can.
Yeah, you damn right they can.
Did they?
It's crazy.
It's fascinating.
Johnny's so underwhelmed.
I'm so confused.
I put my heart into this, Johnny.
How does this relate to you? Because you were scared of you dying?
All right. I'll read one more paragraph,
Okay.
Johnny.
I'm going to try to
Jesus.
I'm sorry, man. I'm trying.
With high hopes for answers to questions like that, it was safe to assume that there was deep shit that was going on 574 feet underground.
Yeah,
People
sure.
became frantic, especially science nuts who thought that blasting two particles at each other would create a micro black hole
Yeah, definitely.
that could destroy the entire Earth. Because this was such a new idea and risky execution, these theories traveled and felt realistic, like to me. Articles were coming out left and right saying the doomsday was on the rise. But just as the world was holding its breath for September 10th, 2008, which was launch day and the day that I was shitting myself, the initial testing was delayed 14 months due to a magnet quench incident that caused extensive damage to the collider itself, which gave an opportunity for everyone to catch their breath and keep living until they forgot this thing even existed.
14 months later.
Oh, man.
Wow.
Dude, I was terrified, okay? I was a terrified kid. I was like, the world's going to end. I'm not ready yet.
Yeah, it's
All right.
crazy. It's crazy that the craziest part to me is that the thought even existed that there's a 1 point, there's a point, blah, 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 0.00001% chance that this is going to create a black hole here on Earth.
Yeah, what's your incentive?
Yeah, then, it's like, maybe we should not do this.
Yeah.
Like, that's guaranteed. I don't know if it's guaranteed. Maybe they have made plenty of black holes and they're able to contain them, but just our basic understanding of a black hole is like, holy shit, it'll suck everything in the room up, then it'll suck the city up, then it'll suck the country up, and then the world.
It's like the end of Jumanji.
Exactly. Everything just gets sucked up into a board game.
Big Kirby.
A board game called CERN.
Black hole.
CERN.
Yeah, it's weird that someone would take that chance.
So you're saying there's someone out there, like 100 countries, I'm sure a ton of scientists.
10,000 scientists, 100 countries.
1,000 scientists had the consensus, or like the democratic opinion for 2/3 that said we should make a Hadron Collider 17 miles in circumference that could end life as we know it.
Yeah.
So, because in my mind, if you do that, all your studies go to shit. If it works,
well, I think
you
they
fuck yourself.
started but the CERN had existed for a while. They been doing other shit before they decided to build this collider. So all these countries are already working together on shit.
Yeah, but
to
me,
CERN,
it's like every reason for a scientific method, or like finding out your hypothesis and go through your experiment, is for the understanding that you better the knowledge and put your research. Either you get published, or your works get like found. But you're saying that their work would have been gone, and
right.
What's the point?
Well, exactly. That's the whole thing. Like, before we jump into CERN, it's like, CERN was the birthplace of the Large Hadron Collider, but before I'm mixing things up, before I jump into CERN, which is what the real episode is about, you have to understand the Large Hadron Collider, and there's not a damn thing to understand about it. It doesn't make any sense.
Why not?
Not for us lamos.
What's the point? Yeah, what's the point? I mean, there's a lot of science. Listen, I'm not a science guy.
No scientist.
I am no scientist, and I can't. The Large Hadron Collider will and eventually get its own episode. It's going to be well researched and going to take a lot of numbers and math that go over my head. But the point is that this thing, this
circle,
this very expensive, which we'll go into it, very expensive about how much it did cost. All these countries contributing and collaborating. Why would everyone contribute all their time, efforts, technology, and resources into creating this thing if there is no key purpose except for blasting particles at each other in hopes to figure out the answer to some crazy shit?
Right.
I mean, in a nutshell, scientists are trying to find absolute zero, and they're trying to whittle things down and molecules into essentially like absolute zero to figure out what happens. We don't know what happens. It could create a black hole, whatever.
Yeah.
They're still trying to achieve it because it's like to better scientific understanding. So I think in their heads, they were like, I'm not a scientist, but I think in their heads, they're like, you know what? There's such a slim chance. There's a better chance I'm going to get hit by a car today than the black hole coming out of this Hadron Collider. So they were like, fuck it.
Yeah.
Possibly so.
It's nuts. It's nuts. Like, the existence of it is nuts because, like, whatever they find, I don't know if they could control or be able to handle what they could find by blasting these specific particles. And why does it's just nuts. That's the bottom line.
So this is about CERN, though.
We're getting there.
Okay.
Tay, do you have anything to add about the Large Hadron Collider?
Well, I think it's fucking crazy. If you only focus on the fact that part of the experiment is that they're wanting to prove the existence of parallel dimensions, and the way I understand it is that they have. Is that by smashing these fuckers together, tons of times, like over and over and over, tons of smashing, tons of detecting, these particles, they smash up into little pieces and they detect where all this shit goes. And from what I understand, every now and then, some of this shit is gone. It's unaccounted for. And this is matter disappearing from space.
Yeah.
Here. Matter
somewhere.
gone. Yeah, and it's got to go somewhere. Where the fuck does it go?
It's evidence enough that there's another dimension.
Absolutely. It's got to go somewhere, or twist your perception of what a dimension is into whatever fits this,
Yeah,
it's going somewhere, maybe in the same space, but another dimension.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I would say maybe if it's a black hole, I don't think would suck into a different dimension. I think it's the same universe. I feel like the particles would be sucked into like a different nebula or a different like galaxy. Not
it would be pooped out of a white hole, possibly. It goes in the black hole, poops out the white hole. Remember?
Here comes that black hole white hole theory.
Yeah, it's possible that wherever the white hole exists, it would just shoot out that side. It's It's possible that there is no white hole. It's possible that a black hole just condenses down into one point, and then boom, another Big Bang happens.
So there's another Earth out there in between France and what was it again? Sweden?
Switzerland.
Sorry, I always get mixed up. There's a Hadron Collider and a different Earth, a different dimension over there that keeps getting our damn particles, like those damn Earth 1-0s.
Yeah, like
sending us those particles.
Yeah, that other CERN is just like stack full of little particles, I guess.
Yeah, it's like, so one-way transit.
Fucking particles everywhere.
It's a fax machine essentially.
Yeah, it's nuts, but. The crazy thing is that after being delayed 14 months due to this magnet quench incident, whatever happened that caused the damage, it seemed as though the entire world shifted its attention away from the LHC. Even myself, who I'm covering this because I was present. Like, I remember this, and I was terrified. So I was like, the world, when they launched these things at each other, like, my mind couldn't grasp that. As like a teenager, I was like, this is it. I'm done. It was scary. And so when I knew I was safe, it was like, okay, 14 months, that's forever away.
Yeah.
Whatever.
I'll be dead by then anyway.
It'll probably never come.
Yeah, so it's hard to not think, okay, well, maybe this was the plan. Maybe CERN, who housed the LHC, felt like too many eyes were on this thing, specifically. Maybe CERN had something bigger and more sinister planned. And this is what we're going to discuss in depth, because in the words of the legend Gwen Stefani, this shit's about to get bananas, all right?
B-A-N-A-N-A-S.
CERN is known as the European Organization for Nuclear Research, which, how that makes sense, I have no fucking idea. I'm sure at this point, having heard the name CERN several times, you're curious as to how you might know the name. Well, I'll tell you how you might know the name, and we might have covered this in a previous episode, but CERN is actually the birthplace for the World Wide Web.
The World Wide Web, you say?
That's right. The World Wide Web.
That's insane.
On April 30th, 1993, CERN announced that the World Wide Web would be free to anyone. Keep this in mind, though, because I'm going to bring this up in just a few minutes. Yeah. It's going to come back into play. So fast forward to 2008, and we have the LHC. Nearly 15 years pass, and CERN is pretty damn quiet after dropping one of the craziest technological advancements for free, which the World Wide Web was announced and released for free.
Yeah.
Then out of nowhere, costing loads of money, CERN creates the Large Hadron Collider and just lets it exist. But what if this was their next big project? What if they were looking for something so powerful that it could change the entire universe? And that thing, my friends, is a little something called the God particle.
The God particle?
The God particle, Johnny.
Sounds pretty holy.
You're damn right it does.
What's the God particle?
Listen, I didn't write a lot of information about the God particle.
You built it up so heavily. You're like, you know what? No.
Okay, I'm going to... Johnny, you're essentially a listener here.
Yeah, I'm essentially...
What do you think the God particle is? And why do you think that it's the ultimate thing that scientists are searching for?
It could be like a particle that, when like interacting with different things, like changes it drastically or sends it somewhere else or whatever. Like, it is the key to, I don't know, like speed of light travel or interdimensional.
There you go.
Like, is that it?
Well, that's pretty much it. There's a lot of numbers and figures and words and math, but
that's it.
That's pretty much it. Yeah, the God particle is the answer to everything.
Wow.
It is the missing link of particles. It is the answer to all things. I mean, Taylor, you want to speak on the God particle for a minute?
It's so difficult for me to understand, really. I know it's the Higgs boson, and it kind of relates to what I said a second ago. Like, I don't know exactly how, I don't understand it fully. I just know that the presence and disappearance of this particle shines light on something that they were looking for, possibly multiple dimensions.
Yep. You know? You're damn right. You both are damn right. So there are theories that CERN was either trying to find this specific God particle or actually resurrect a God of their own in order to help them answer the questions that could change everything.
Like, we need to summon a God, and then they'll tell us what's up.
Right. Well, this is where it gets crazier, because it's like,
a bit nutty.
Yeah. Well, it's the idea of science, right? Like, you have something that you're trying to reach, and if you can't reach it, you go about it another way. So if you can't find or create the God particle, you try to resurrect a god to answer your questions for you.
You go a different direction.
You go a different direction. That's science. That's the whole idea. So it even goes as deep as a statue that rests peacefully in front of CERN. And that statue is a statue of Shiva, the god of creation, upkeep, and destruction. So can CERN be comparing themselves to Shiva? Could the statue of Shiva be an open to public metaphor for what they're planning and doing at the facility? Maybe they're planning to create the God particle, to keep it until it's discovered, and then plan the destruction of our own world. While the statue was gifted to CERN from India, it still begs the question, was this purposeful? What does that mean? If it's a gift, here, I'm just going to give you the gift of Shiva, the god of power and destruction and creation. Here, you guys take it, because that's what you're doing.
Yeah, pretty symbolic of what they think the possibilities are.
Right. Like, the whole thing is nuts. It's nuts. Like, it just keeps getting more and more nuts.
We're getting into this rabbit hole, right? Or is that what it's called? I'm so lost. We're getting into this hole, and I'm finding out more information. It's so over my head. I'm not a scientist. I'm just trying to follow along, and it's blowing me out of the water.
Yeah, it's wild because we've only hit 2 points so far. We've hit the Large Hadron Collider was created by CERN.
Wait, by the way, before you go any further, I'm dying to know, how do you spell CERN? Is it a
C-E-R-N?
C-E-R-N?
Yes.
I was way off.
Indeed you were, sir. So we have the Large Hadron Collider, which was created by CERN, who also created the World Wide Web.
Okay.
And now we have this statue of Shiva that is kept on the facility, on the premises, that was gifted by India because they're one of their biggest partners. Yeah. So I know the idea of Shiva, and we're about to reach the end of this because, like everything, or the research just sort of stops, which we can dive in, because this is going to be a very hypothetical-driven episode. Very, very hypothetical-driven.
As it should be.
Yeah, exactly. So we have this statue, and the idea of the statue, being a metaphor for what they're doing, it's far-fetched. Like, I get it. It's crazy. But as I was doing my research, I found that, it's far-fetched, but it got even more bizarre for me. And this brings me back, like Taylor with his news of shit.
It wasn't the quality of news. It was the actual description. Wait, what? I missed that.
Like Taylor with his poop news, I somehow keep winding up in my research, in my episodes. I keep kind of bouncing back to human sacrifice somehow.
What?
And this is a bit, and I texted both. I texted Johnny and Taylor. Johnny had no idea what we were covering, but I did have trouble sleeping last night.
Yeah, you texted me last night. You said I can't sleep, and I was like, "Well, what is it?" I thought I texted
you, and I was like,
Johnny. I thought it was snakes. I was like, "Is it snakes?" Because that's the only thing Nick's afraid of is snakes.
Yeah.
Are there snakes in your bed?
I thought he was like, and I was like, "Why is he looking at videos of snakes? This doesn't make a damn bit of sense."
It's got to be snakes.
So in August of 2016, a video appeared online, and this video scared the living shit out of me last night.
Oh yeah.
The video featured individuals in black cloaks gathering in the main square in front of the statue of Shiva at CERN. In the video, it appears that they are performing some kind of ritual. And I'm getting chills talking about it. It's freaking me out. Think about it. And the ritual ends when they kind of clear out of the way. There is a woman, uncloaked, laying flat on the ground, facing towards the sky.
Okay.
The man who's leading the ritual pulls something shiny out of his cloak and begins stabbing the woman.
That's obviously like
in front of the statue. It's a human sacrifice.
Was she alive?
She was alive.
Oh.
Shortly after the video surfaced online, a spokesperson for CERN said that the video was indeed filmed on the premises, but without authorization.
Oh, well, they included that part.
Certainly.
I mean, that's needed, inclusion right there. Just so you guys know, we did not have that in our terms and agreement policy. That was not us. Thank you so much.
Yeah, this is not an authorized.
This is not an authorized human sacrifice.
Those were ex-employees.
So the spokesperson also claimed that it was a prank by a few visiting scientists, but why?
Doesn't make any sense.
Is there an
that's not a good
in-joke?
prank.
No, is there an in joke that we don't know about, or is there something bigger at play here?
Oh, murder is funny.
Everything we talk about, the video was buried and was never brought up again, ever. Which is very interesting.
Until today.
It's interesting because this is coming from a place who created the World Wide Web.
Yeah, it's true.
World
yeah.
Wide Web.
So they had the control to just like suck it away.
Yeah. Now, you can find the video now.
Possibly.
The video is there, but the thing is, it was debunked, and I found a website where it was debunked, and it was only debunked because someone from CERN came out and said it was a joke, it was a spoof, and they were probably scientists who were visiting, but they all had key cards and stuff, and it was all fake.
Dude, what a crazy fucking experiment. What if, like, CERN, what if there was no other motive other than they create this, internet network for people to connect to, give it away for free, get everybody hooked on it, like we obviously are, and, like, the only purpose is some kind of a collective consciousness experiment where they're just, like, farming our ideas and shit, farming everybody's ideas and using them.
I think it's very valid.
That'd be crazy.
It would be nuts, but, like, I think of the World Wide Web and then connection. So, and this leads into hypotheticals that we can riff on. But the big thing now is, like, I think about the sacrifice, I think about Shiva, and I think about the God particle, and I put it all together, and I think about the movie Cabin in the Woods, where, spoiler alert, I don't want to spoil anything, but the end of the movie is essentially like, there are godlike beings who have to be fed in order to stay hidden. Or they will wreak havoc on the Earth because basically, like, Earth bought itself more time. The gods were meant to wreak havoc earlier. Like, maybe this is the same situation. Like, what if they are trying to, whether it be Shiva, whatever it is, have the human sacrifice. And as far as we know, maybe this is the only one that was captured. But the Large Hadron Collider is only shot once every 2 years.
What? So there's some entity out there that every 2 years. What? No, there's something out there every 2 years that, like, needs to be fed, and we're sending this particle and creating, I'm going to say, a mini black hole, and then we're sending whatever sacrifice or food that this god needs through that particle, or that it's just
through the particle or through the specific, the statue or whatever. Like, I think
it's all connected.
I think it is all connected, and I think
every 2 years.
Yeah,
and every year, Bohemian Grove. They meet, right?
Yeah. It's
2 years. Are you sure about that?
Yeah.
Why would they only do every 2
I
years?
thought they were constantly
too much?
splashing these fuckers together, like, constantly.
They have to let the machine die down and then like spice it up and then launch again. And it takes 2 years of.
I'm sure the juice. I mean, that kind of speed, that kind of, like, inertia and energy is on a grand, massive scale. You can't even, like. I couldn't even understand it.
Yeah, they're gonna shoot it again this year. 2018, baby.
Everyone hold your pants.
You're
gonna die.
Found some info that the Canadian government recently just donated $10 million to upgrade CERN and to upgrade the collider.
Well, they should donate to us because we're really going to give some great publicity to it.
Yeah, give me a 0.5 of that, please.
If you haven't heard about the Large Hadron Collider, guys, you should go. You should check it out. It's on Facebook at the Large Hadron Collider.
.net.org.web.
Apparently, the Canadians, they're with their $10 million, what they're going to do is build 5, they called them crab cavity modules. They're essentially deep freezers, and they're going to start freezing these particles before they smash them together. So I guess maybe they're more controlled when they're frozen. I don't know.
Oh, yeah, the molecules are going way slower.
Yeah.
Well, I feel like if everyone's going to contribute, I feel like it's not money. I feel like it's a contribution and also like a thought. Like, hey, we'll contribute if you, like, the way you have things, it's not safe.
Right,
We're going to contribute.
That's a good point. I think one of the things is these Canadian scientists who brought this up, I guess, are the experts in that field. So the government was like, this is our chance. We can get in. We got the scientists to do it. So it's like apparently Canadian science, that they're bringing to the table. So, yeah, just like you said, they are bringing an idea. I guess the $10 million seems like pretty small chump change in the grand scheme of what,
but, like,
collider is.
What about our consent? Like, I don't consent to them making a black hole. What's my say? Where's your say?
It doesn't matter. That's like,
we don't have any says. We don't have
any says.
We don't say nothing about nothing because we don't know shit.
So, while there are a lot of different theories to explore, there just isn't enough evidence to dig much deeper. After this, this sacrifice information, I didn't really find anything else. It's all hypothetical past this point. Everything that comes up, even from the Large Hadron Collider and what they hope to find, it's the hypothetical of if we found it, all these specific things. But what we really don't know much about is the Large Hadron Collider itself. What I do know is that it costs over $1 billion that has been contributed by many different countries. So what's the end goal? What's always been the end goal, and why are we continuing to blast particles at each other? Could they have already found the God particle? What do they plan on doing with it if they indeed found it? There are many more questions than usual here, and I think we need to try to blast this thing open with our own particles and see what's going on, because I want to know.
Well,
what I want to know.
It was in 2012 that they were like, okay, we got it. We got the God particle. We got the Higgs boson. I think that was in 2012, and I don't know if they've really done anything since then. But, dude, I watched some crazy shit the other day that this is the dumbest shit I've ever heard, but it was awesome the way it connected. It was trying to say that below the Hadron Collider is some never-ending abyss, like the portal to hell kind of thing. And what they're proposing, or the person in this video was proposing, is that there's a gateway underneath the Hadron Collider that they're trying to tap into via parallel universitivity, whatever, you know. But the end goal is to transfer some fucking information from here or underneath the Hadron Collider to the planet Saturn. Because because they believe that the planet Saturn is some fucking crazy this is crazy. All right. They believe that the planet Saturn is inside the planet that we see, the gaseous cloud of planet that we see. They say that it is a giant black cube. And then they say that there is, they say it's a giant cube on the inside of Saturn, and that it's possibly a mega machine. And that there's proof of this, like, I guess on the North Pole on Saturn, there's like a hexagonal storm that's like there always, like a hexagonal mark. And I guess they're proposing that is an indicator of the way, like the shape of its magnetic field. And apparently a cube would make this magnetic field that would form that shape on its poles. So
you're trying to tell me Michael Bay has been right this whole fucking time?
Dog, yeah, exactly, dude. Yeah. Exactly. It's all about this fucking cube, and it somehow relates. And dude, no shit. Like all over the world, in 5-6 different countries, man, there's giant fucking black cube statues that are like, symbolic of technology and shit and some kind of knowledge. Not only what's the mausoleum, like Muslim, like Mecca? What is Mecca called?
Yeah.
It's a fucking giant black cube, bro. And okay, so how does this giant black cube relate to any of this fucking bullshit? Okay, think about what Nick brought up about the computers, right? Trying to make a World Wide Web, right? So if they're trying to connect all these computers, they're saying they need computer power. The reason that they wanted to connect computers in the first place is because the numbers involved with like going over this data, like the numbers are so fucking big. They need, like, based on transistor computers, microprocessor computers, whatever they're, the standard computer. With those, they would need hundreds of thousands of computers working simultaneously to crunch these fucking numbers. So, is it possible that they make this World Wide Web in order to fucking use all of our computing power simultaneously in order to crunch these numbers? Because who in the world knows? When you try and get Comcast or AT&T to tell you what your internet speed is, you can take your internet speed test online. It's always bullshit. There's no way. You're never going to convince me that we're getting the full bandwidth that we're paying for, or we even know what that bandwidth is, or even know what that number represents. Like, I'm sure computer dudes out there are like, Taylor, you're fucking dumb. Shut up. We know what we're talking about. But hey, I can think this way if I want. Like, what if we're only using a piece of our computing power or whatever, and they're in the background just using our shit like all the time, and literally every computer you've ever been on that's hooked to a network or the internet is a part of that. And then that brings us to this fucking black cube. So what's this black cube? It's a fucking quantum computer, dog. We need the quantum computing in order to crunch these numbers without having hundreds of thousands of fucking of computers working together. All they need is one quantum computer or one single black cube at CERN. Is that possibly what this is? I don't know.
Johnny's day is ruined.
I'm just leaving that on the table. I'm leaving it on the table.
Oh my God.
I've watched Johnny go from like pretty jazzed to be here to like he looks like he wants to go home.
Dude, I'm uncomfortable right now.
I can see it in his eyes. Like I almost see tears. Like
it's plausible, dude. Like
it's hella plausible, man. That's Skynet. That is the definition of Skynet.
Oh my God.
But wait. What if I drop this on you? All right.
Okay.
Johnny, hold on your butt. All right, here we go. What if I told you that on top of what Taylor said, you have all these computers? It's like, hey, we need X amount of people coding, writing code, doing all this shit.
Yeah.
To help us, to help CERN. Well, now you just got it all for free because you released the World Wide Web. You had developers and coders who were doing it on computers, but there was no web, and web is an open source outlet to create all of this code for CERN for free.
Right.
So
the
now you have
is like, they create this platform for commerce, so anyone can use it and create commerce, make money off of it. All the while, CERN is gaining what they want.
Oh, shit.
You're welcome.
Oh my. So you're. Holy crap. I need to stand up.
He's standing.
1 second.
I told you this was going to be a mind melter, Johnny. I texted you last night at about 1:45 in the morning.
You were fucking right. So wait, okay.
Step right up, folks. It's Nick's mind melter.
Let me just debrief myself. That sounded way worse.
Decompress, bro.
Debrief.
You know what Johnny looks like right now? He looks like me in 2008.
Oh God.
Yeah,
but what a diss.
No, I mean not looks wise. You're much more handsome than me. I'm just trying to say, dude, you look as flabberfucked as I do.
Okay. So let me figure this out, Taylor. So you're telling me that CERN made interwebs and the ability for us all in commerce to use the interwebs for whatever 2000. When did they come up with the internet? Like
1993.
1993. All you'll now. That's got to be like what, like
25 years.
25 years. That's 3 years older than me. So you're saying they did this and they assumed that it would blow up. Steve Jobs and Bill Gates, all these people are
investing
no-brainer.
In it. I mean, it's no-brainer.
It's going to get huge. Yeah, it's globalization to a T. And everyone's in these computers, millions and millions and millions of computers, and all this computing power is a supercomputer being used for some computer on Saturn or anywhere else. It makes sense because like. The whole, I think, crux of the world is that we don't have enough power, whether it's for like interdimensional travel or space travel. It's like we need more power.
We need more power.
Like Scotty, we haven't heard all she's got, Captain. It's like we always need more power, we need more energy. And this would make sense. Exactly. This would make sense that like we would have. I sound so crazy that we would essentially.
It's like Johnny just did a bump of cocaine.
So
he's like Leo in Wolf of Wall Street. Look at him go.
You're saying to me that all of our computers are being used on a galactic level for somebody else. I feel like
I would imagine that they're not anymore. I would imagine that this quantum computing is, quantum computing is out there being done, I guess, and it performs the work of like millions of computers in like one instance. So I think it's possible that at this point that whole system is like outdated, and now they're on to actual quantum computing, which could possibly be one single black cube of a computer, at CERN.
So you're saying that their work was done like, man, we got enough power, but we just fucked civilization up.
Not really, man. They just accelerated the shit out of it, man. Now we don't have to go to Kmart to buy shit. We just go to Amazon or we order it online. Dude, online's the shit. What are you talking about?
I'm saying like maybe they thought they took a step too far because like I would say in the state of human population like people rely on technology almost too much, and I think they would also have that same opinion. After they got their goal, they were like,
but they're scientists. Their job is to rely on technology.
Yeah,
that's their fucking job.
I don't think there's any negative to this whole.
I think there is.
Kids are just hooked on technology and blah blah blah. I think that's a bunch of jargon, dude. Like, yeah, I think kids should play outside. But
Yeah.
That doesn't mean they shouldn't be, excel at computers and shit,
Oh, yeah. I agree. There's definitely a positive and negative. I was just saying that at a certain point, somebody who, I'm under the assumption that this is all true and factual, but like under the
You got all sad boy there for a second.
because I don't want to, it's suppressing. So under the assumption that we were all being used for our computers and yada, yada,
Yeah.
I think at some point once they didn't need us, I would then say, all right, well, we got what we needed, and now they're accelerating. They're like at a exponential level on this graph, going up and up and up, using technology, and they're going to get so intelligent, they're going to create whatever AI, and that's more than they wanted. Now, I understand technology is good, that the scientists need it, but I feel like if I was them, I'd be like, yeah, we got what we wanted, but was it worth it? We literally, we created, great and evil. People die over the internet. I don't know.
No, I mean, but I think that's the biggest thing. It's like, okay, the World Wide Web was A, an experiment, and B, an opportunity to power this supercomputer cube, whatever it is. And, our idea of the future is in cinema. That's our idea of the future. It's like books and cinema. Like that's what, it is folklore. And it's like, our future isn't Blade Runner. It's not, flying cars and buildings. If you think about flying cars and robots and shit, that's not what we need. What we need is the advancement of technology. How do we communicate with each other by typing? How do I pick up a device and talk to somebody in Australia right now from, California or wherever? It's about all of these other specific, how do we shop online? How do we do these things? How can I sit at home and order? I want a new pair of pants. How do I get those pair of pants to me without leaving my fucking couch? And that's the future to them. But also, in terms of it being an experiment, how it becomes an experiment is how we as people handle something as simplistic, and it's not simplistic, I know it's not, but as simple as the internet and Facebook and access to media and Netflix and all of these specific things. And the way we react is not well. People cyberbully and they're assholes all the time. That's what people do. So imagine if we took this technology, embraced it, and then announced interdimensional travel, announced that we could go to different planets, announced, if
Space
they want
Force.
to, Space Force, flying cars, all that. We as people can't handle it. So they're like, well, what's more beneficial? The Earth in chaos because we've done something fucking cool? Or do we sit on our asses, embrace what we have, and then just let technology grow on its own?
Yeah.
And that's what you do. I think we as people aren't ready for it. And we're the problem in terms of the development of where we go from here in terms of how futuristic things get.
Absolutely.
But we've dug deep in the World Wide Web, and Taylor, what you brought up about Saturn and the cube, that's a game changer. But
it's so dumb.
how do we connect the World Wide Web with the Large Hadron Collider? How does a company like CERN go for 15 years without creating something after mic dropping the fucking world with the World Wide Web? How did they do that and then drop off and go, hey, here's a Large Hadron Collider? But all of us are just like, cool. It's a 17-mile tunnel underground that shoots particles at each other.
Well, they could say it's probably, it does have a lot of different functions, like measuring this, measuring that. But all they have to fucking say to get people pumped about it and be like, more money, please, is be like, yo, we're looking for parallel dimensions, and we think we got it. Boom, done. Sign me the fuck up, dude. You want? I can't give you any money because I don't have any. But if I had billions of dollars, I would donate for sure.
They did it wrong by saying there was anything interlude to black holes. That would turn me off. But the idea of interdimensional travel, I'd be like, oh hell yeah.
Well, I think that was the problem. Is that it was being announced in 2008, and all that negative stuff came out. It was micro black holes and this and that. And if if the machine blows up, it could cause,
essentially a cavity underneath France.
Yeah, France and Switzerland. It could completely wipe them off the planet.
Can you imagine the power that it's being held underneath? How many feet of ground underneath?
574 feet.
The amount of power they're harnessing, I would say it's competent of nukes.
Yeah,
worth of energy.
Everything was negative. And so that's when they all right, 14 months, let's delay it. I think that was a conscious decision. They said something went wrong and we're going to make it better. And that was basically them going, hey guys, relax. Everything's going to be fine. Something happened. We weren't ready. We're going to fix it. Everything's going to be better. And it created the illusion of, hey, everything is going to be better. This isn't as bad as it looks. And then we all forgot about it because that's the way we work. like even in 2008, that's the way that we work, is we move from one thing onto the next thing. And I think the idea of this, like it's still crazy. But then in 2012, when there was the rumor that they found the God particle, it came and went so fast. Like they shut that shit down fast. But if people keep pumping money, they had to have figured something out.
Yeah.
Had to.
And they're just not telling us.
Wow. I mean, I think they found something. They just don't know what it means. You know, they're like, "Gosh, I mean, we found what we were looking for, but now
it's
what?"
Like a dog. It's
You
like
know?
a dog and a squirrel. Like once they get the squirrel, they're like, oh, now.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I know I wanted the squirrel. Yeah, it's like underpants gnomes. You know, step 1, get the underpants. Step 2,
What?
they don't know what step 2 is. They get the underpants, they don't know what to do with the underpants.
Taylor, what?
Wait.
Underpants gnomes. You guys never heard of underpants gnomes?
Nope.
Dude, what?
Yeah, they sneak into your house late at night and they steal your underpants. They take them. That's what happens to all your missing boxers and stuff. And like no one knows what the ultimate goal is. They just know that step 1, get the underpants. Step 2, no step 2. They don't know what step 2 is.
I mean, that's plausible. I've never heard of it before.
I love it.
It's
You
a
just
South
broke
Park
it
episode,
down.
damn it.
There you go. That's why.
Oh
that makes
man,
sense.
it's so. All right, so we've broken open the World Wide Web. We've talked about the Large Hadron Collider. Let's talk about this statue of Shiva. Let's talk about this
Shiva!
sacrifice. What's going on here?
Well, I thought it was going to be an owl earlier when you said it was a huge statue. So
If it
could just
was,
be a
oh
gift.
man, that'd be crazy.
It could have just been a gift. It could be something bigger.
But what's the purpose of a gift? Like, if it was a gift,
Well, I mean, like,
why would that be the gift?
I don't know.
What?
Like the Statue of Liberty was a gift. It was
Yeah.
like, yeah,
And it
like-
represents something. Like I would say in their religion, that Shiva is the bringer and ender of all life. It's pretty representative of what this machine could possibly be. If they're finding particles randomly appearing here and disappearing from here, you could parallel it pretty easily to whatever they're doing. It is relative to the source of life, the source of everything in our universe. You know what I mean? Like they're making something pop into this dimension or vanish from this dimension, just like this force that is embodied by Shiva, right?
Maybe it was like, I don't know. I feel like it was just a gift. Honestly, this is the skeptic in me. I feel like it wasn't anything bigger than a gift.
Yeah.
Well,
I mean,
it's
anytime
pretty
there's gift, just like Statue of Liberty, like what do
man's
all the
rifle.
things like? She's holding a certain book. She's got that fucking shit
Oh,
on her
yeah, it
head. She's
means
got the
something. It's in the
torch.
ba-
It's like it
yeah.
obviously means liberty in
Yeah,
whatever
yeah.
way the French equate liberty to. I'm not quite sure. You know,
Yeah.
but it's representative. It's not just it's
you're
an
saying-
artistic representation of what they're, what they think it represents. What they
So you're
think
saying that
the place represents.
the statues have to have meaning, whether it's like
Absolutely.
the Bronco outside of Denver,
Absolutely.
or the owl, or yeah,
Yeah, because this is not just it's like somebody commissioned these pieces, whatever. Sure. So maybe they had an idea what they wanted. Hey, we want something that embodies this. But keep in mind that an artist, made all these statues. Artists made them. And artists, the purpose is to interpret their art, right? So there's
sometimes.
sometimes, I'd say often. So there's more than likely messages and meanings and things that an artist wants to impart into the piece of art.
yeah.
But like, and seeing how difficult it is to get into CERN, why would this human sacrifice be a joke? And
Yeah, it's
Well,
like,
that is crazy.
What's the point of that? What do they gain? What are these scientists that have their lives on the line? What are they gaining? Because
who are in the most like high end,
Yeah.
like very wealthy
Secure-
and powerful facility that you're in visiting. That's like the most frat boy shit I've ever
I
heard.
feel
If
like,
it is a
yeah,
joke,
well, yeah, exactly. Like I don't know too many scientists. I know one person that's in the science field. That's an adult. That's acclaimed.
let's call him up. Who is it?
It's not important. It's my friend's parent. Anyways,
all right.
I don't have his number. Anyways, what I was saying is that their sense of humor is not great, and I don't think a lot of scientists. Maybe it's sound pretty crass, but a lot of scientists don't have great sense of humor. They're smart people. They're brilliant people, but they're not stand-up comedians.
Right.
So what
Neil deGrasse Tyson, Bill Nye,
Bill Nye.
Michio Kaku. Those guys are funny.
they're also entertainers. I feel like I'm talking about.
Wow,
like,
you said it on the head. I think you're right. Yep.
The people who are behind the scenes, who are obviously behind the camera in this situation, I don't think know how to crack a joke. So
you telling me Bill Nye is not the one operating this machine?
Dude,
are you trying to tell me it's not Bill Nye and Neil deGrasse Tyson like doing the day-to-day work here? I just assumed this.
I'm telling that. Yes.
Sorry, Taylor, it's not.
Man, I don't believe in it anymore.
No. The thing is, as a scientist, I don't care if you're in college and you've been granted. I mean, there were a lot of people in this video. I mean, there are at least a dozen, like 12 to 16 people in this video. If you're a scientist, even if and you've been granted access to a place that has been under fire for ritualistic activities and searching for a God particle, if you are a scientist and you are there in a very well-respected community, why in the fuck would you fake a sacrifice and then have someone planted? Because the video is shot from a window in one of the offices in CERN.
Like a spy?
And it's like a guy who's hiding. Why would that guy be in on it as well? It be at nighttime in a secure facility in front of this specific statue.
Well,
I am so tired of doing these, the research for these things, and everyone saying, "Oh yeah, so I'm a spokesperson for the business that it's putting this under fire. It's definitely a joke.
It's a fake."
I mean, you can't do that.
That's pretty lame. That's just a shitty explanation. But if you're trying to fake a video, like it would make sense to go to that extra length and like be peeking out of a window and be hiding and shit, right? I mean, that makes it more believable to me.
Right. It would too, but it's like a fucking summer camp activity.
These are
scientists.
So no woman died, I'm guessing.
I don't know. Like there's nothing further about whether a body was removed. There's no proof. If there was a body, it was on CERN's property, and CERN would have put that in the God particle and zapped that sucker to bits.
Well, no, they zapped it to that tank with the water in it from earlier.
Holy shit!
Yeah. And that's how she got there.
When did that happen? What year?
That was 2011.
Oh boy, you're 1 year off. I was about to lose my shit.
Or 2012.
I was close.
2012 is when this happened.
Who would say they can't send things back in time?
It was actually 2012, yes.
What month did it happen, Taylor?
I think it was like September or August. It was near the third quarter.
Well, who's to say they can't send things back in time as well?
Dude, August is when this happened.
The sacrifice?
Yeah. Wait, all right, wait.
No way, dude.
Sorry. Guys, I want to apologize. It was August 2016.
Okay.
That's what I'm saying. If they had the power to send things in different dimensions, why can't they send things back in time?
Bro, they do.
So then they could have easily possibly sent it back in 2012. I don't know.
Yeah,
that was a crazy theory of mine.
Plausible. But
I just don't think you're saying.
I was saying they did go back in time, and they fuck with my memory, they fuck with my childhood, and they fuck with Sinbad's career. It's like, I think it's been proven by now.
Taylor will never let this go.
Hell no, man. It's real, and I'm sticking to it.
I feel so obligated to watch the movie now, or like get
to find it. To really find it, man. It's out there, dude. And Sinbad needs to be honest with us. Maybe Sinbad is being honest with us, and we're all just not on the same
wavelength
page, that we used to be. Yeah, the same wavelength. It's possible, man. It's just who's to say it's impossible? Nobody knows better.
It's probable.
Nobody knows better.
Sinbad's been like, I've been trying to tell you guys for years and no one believes me, so I'm just going to go with the flow and I'm going to say, it doesn't exist. I don't know, man. The whole sacrifice thing, like, my philosophy, and I was talking to Taylor about this earlier, my philosophy is like, all right, let me think of something that's not crazy. So if...
I like that you said that because I was assuming you're about to say something really crazy.
So let's say Apple, okay? The company Apple, if somehow something happened and let's say someone got sucked into an iPhone in the premise, like on the premises, like it was Jumanji. Crazy. Yeah, it was like Jumanji. They got sucked in and then like a news story came out and they're like, man, gets sucked into iPhone and factory line, shit's gone crazy. This is nuts. We're in trouble. And then Apple comes out and goes, so I'm a spokesperson for Apple, and I'd like to let everybody know it didn't happen. You can't tell me that someone who works for the company that the shit happened, you can't tell me that person's going to come out and say that person has no say. Someone else needs to be there. You need to identify someone in the video, and they need to come forward, and they need to say, hi, I'm one of the scientists who took the video. It wasn't funny. That's who you hunt down. I'm not buying what you're telling me if you're coming out and saying it didn't fucking happen. Where's the body? Where's one of the scientists that happened? Like,
I want somebody to be responsible for it. I want that guy to tell me he was lying. You know,
maybe it
track
was
the IP. You run the World Wide Web.
Well, maybe this. Well, let's say these 10 scientists or 12 scientists, they're doing this dumb, ritual that was actually fake. They were doing it as a joke. Just like, oh, we have no lives. Let's just do this. Somebody recorded it. Oh shit, our lives are ruined. Then somebody in the company said, you know what, I can save your life if we just say it's a joke, but you can't be in the video. Because as soon as somebody is a culprit, they're fired. They're exiled.
Right, but why would you waste the time and energy if you're a successful scientist who's on CERN's property?
It sounds stupid to me. That it's crazy to me that somebody would do that.
We just imagine a scientist just being rigid as fuck,
10.
just being super 10 science people just being like fucking nerds. They don't have a life. They don't do anything. They can't go outside. Well, they're just fucking people too, man. They just want to go have jokes. They probably have all kinds of inside jokes. Most of which we would not understand, but
you're saying their jokes are so morbid or they're so like under covers that it's murder infused.
But like,
maybe it was just a joke and they're just having some fun. Maybe there's a story behind it that like makes it funny to them. Maybe like an inside joke. Maybe there is something that does make it relevant.
One time at science camp,
and it's just too much trouble to let all that out of just to say all that. You know what I mean? They could just say, this is fake. It was just somebody they broke in. Blah 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 blah. Like, maybe it is fake. Maybe it is fake, but definitely some of their scientists just having a blast,
Like it's a leaked parody video.
Exactly.
That, like, is an email chain.
Like, I don't know if you guys heard about this. These videos aren't even fucking leaked. This blew my mind. I saw a little piece of this on the news yesterday. An Atlanta surgeon, just a surgeon. I don't think she's a plastic surgeon. This is like a surgeon operating on people like life and death situations. Started busting out these videos on YouTube, and I'm sure you can find them, where her and all her techs are just like dancing around these people, like in the middle of surgery, dude. It's crazy.
What?
Yeah, they're like making music videos basically while performing surgery. It's fucking ridiculous, dude. And then the reason it was on the news is because a woman fucking saw herself on there, and in this procedure that she had a collapsed lung. They collapsed her lung.
Wow.
The surgeon did.
Rightfully pissed.
Be hella fucking pissed, dude. Oh my gosh.
I'd be livid.
That's like millions of dollars pissed, right?
That's your
they
life.
collapse your fucking lung while they're dancing around, having a laugh, while they're supposed to be saving your fucking life. Dog, get out of here. I would say that's worse than leaving a sandwich inside of somebody.
What?
That's like it's a common thing, surgeon's doing some surgery, he's saving time, they can't go to the bathroom, they can't go eat lunch, so he's eating an egg salad sandwich. A little egg salad sandwich drops into the cadaver. Sewed up.
Oh yeah. People get more upset about different things. Like remember that themes thing people were doing that was like it was like Puerto Rico, that thing, and everyone was dancing. People did it. You remember that whole thing going around? So there's this whole video scheme. This is a viral video, and it was like the Harlem Shake or whatever, right?
Uh-huh.
And it was like a whole 30-second video or audio, and then people would just like randomly do something, and then just break out into dance. It was like break dancing, but people did it on a plane. And the airline was cool with it, but sorry, the captain, everyone on the plane was cool with it, but the airline got so pissed that like people were fired, and that wasn't technically it wasn't even that life threatening, but this is like a person's life getting operated on right there in the surgery. That's like obviously more extreme.
Yeah, and then she slipped up and fucked up. But it's even weirder. She pops these things on YouTube, like no worry in the world.
Yeah, like obviously somebody's alive in there. Like, what do you think's gonna happen? I get copyrighted if I put like 10 seconds of a song from like a concert on accident on YouTube. But this is a person's life.
Yeah, well, she claims that they're all staged, but this person with the collapsed lung says nope, that was real, and that's me in the video.
Yeah, well, obviously she's not gonna she's not gonna let it slide.
Hell no. I don't care how good the video is.
Unless they gave them a lot of money, because if it was like, oh, you got collapsed lung, but here's $5 billion, I'd be like, all right, it was an accident.
If it somehow turned into an official Horse the Band music video, I would entertain it. I would entertain it. Hey, yo, hi, bros. Little pause for the cause as we pass our money-saving powers on to you. If you're anything like me and you like chewing massive wads of gum while being admired for wearing hilariously gruesome t-shirts, then do the natural thing and head over to glorpgum.com and enter in the promo code I'mABroLever. That's going to get you 15% off any purchase over $20. That's I'mABroLever. I''M space A space B R O L I E V E R. Glorp.
Yeah, so I'm still digging through that last little bit of thing on this human sacrifice before we wrap up. And it's CERN is saying that the video is a work of fiction. CERN fills up with visitors over summer with users from across the world who come to CERN as a part of their work, and some of whom occasionally let their sense of humor go too far, and that's what happened on this occasion. CERN does not condone this type of behavior. But they also said that that everyone who is on the campus has CERN IDs, and they're checked systematically at each entry to the CERN site, whether it is night or day. And she indicated that those responsible for the prank all had access badges. And they said there's an investigation underway because it was an internal matter. But if you have a system that scans badges in and out, why did you not poll those people who came in around that time, had time to put cloaks on, and then do this whole video and have someone even up in an office building, and then not release information after that?
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe they would, trying to protect their employees or whatever. There's probably some kind of confidentiality involved that they're like, we legally can't give out the names, blah, blah, blah. But, maybe it's like internally, let's say there was no media coverage of it. If they probably knew about it internally and were like, oh, yeah, that's kind of a lame joke, guys, but whatever, whatever.
Probably burned them all in the collider. They lined them all up.
Dude, so part of this Saturn craziness that I was looking over the other day, dude, another level of this, which gets even dumber, is that these people believe in some way that this place under the Hadron Collider, this abyss is what they're calling it.
Oh, okay.
I guess we're talking about the empty space that occupies the ground underneath it, I guess. Like possibly another dimension of space or whatever. Mm-hmm. This area down there is apparently either the keeping place itself or like the entrance to a wormhole that connects directly with Saturn for some fucking reason. And that located in one of these places is the fallen angels of early times. Yeah, like fallen, what was described as falling angels or demons or whatever the fuck they are. Yeah, so it's like hell. This is like their keeping place. Kind of like that, what's the movie? The Immortals? Where it starts off and those warriors, like the Immortals, I guess, or like, is it called the Immortals? I don't know. It's like, it looks just like 300, but it's about a different story.
The Immortals.
Yeah. It starts out with those dudes in the cube. Looks fucking nuts, dude. It's like a cube prison, basically. And once they get out of that that pube prison, once they get out of that cube,
sounds way worse.
Not a pube prison.
Well, once they get out of there, they're like the anti-god, basically. So all the gods have to go and battle them, and some gods die. I'm sorry, some gods die. So
spoiler alert.
Spoiler alert. Yeah. So what these peeps are saying is that either in this area underneath CERN or in Saturn, and they're somehow connected via wormhole, they're trying to open the door, essentially, to Pandora's box that contains these anti-gods or these demons or these fallen angels. And there's somehow, who knows why, who knows what they want to accomplish by doing that. Who knows? But it sounds fucking nuts.
Listen, at the end of the day, I think CERN is just like us, guys. They just want answers. And we also want answers. And I think we get closer and closer. But this one messed me up. Like, I got nothing. I don't know what the purpose is. Maybe one day we'll find out. But if there's anything I realize that the three of us we have a lot in common with CERN.
How do you mean?
We just want answers, Johnny. You didn't get all that before?
Well, he asked you a question. He just wanted the answer.
Oh, I see. Proving a point, huh?
Yeah.
Johnny looks exhausted.
Dude, that was what a journey, man. It wasn't like fake Paul. It wasn't like eating your own leg. It's like it's just a game changer.
You're damn right it is.
It's just one step closer to figuring out where Shazam is and what do we have to do to get back to that. Because there are arguments out there with the whole time travel thing that even if we could go back in time, which who knows, maybe we can. There are arguments out there that say even if we went back in time that we wouldn't be able to be in the same thread of time that we're trying to go back to. We're on this current thread, this current path, and that to go back in time would create a fork in your road, and basically your future is you going to this place that existed further back in time, but it is essentially on a different thread, or it's a continuation of the thread that you're on. So it's like not the same time, not the same place, but it is. What? I don't know.
Johnny's broken.
So blown away right now. Dude, Taylor, twice in this, I think maybe 3 times in this podcast, you've gone on tangents, and I've stayed with you the whole way, but I've slowly gotten more and more scared.
I feel like Johnny got dumber in the last hour and a half. Like I've watched his
nowhere in that incoherent rant.
He's literally melted. Like I've watched Johnny go from like really pumped to just broken and sort of like
what does it mean?
Like he's like an emo.
What does it all mean, Basil?
Let me focus on my art.
Yeah.
I want to focus on my art right now. I want to focus on my art before they send the Hadron Collider towards like the other proton or the other particle and kill us all.
Nah, man, it's all a ruse, man. It's all a way to get quantum computing, to start the AI, to get Skynet going, and to fucking destroy us because this machine, like these people aren't even humans, man. They're robots. And they're TU-2000s, and they were sent back in time to create this. It's possible. Read it, but look it up. Look
sucks.
It up. Well, until we find out, we've reached a dead end yet again, which is frustrating. But I feel like I kept it together. Now I feel like I got pretty upset this episode, but I still feel like I kept it together.
Relative, you did keep it together.
It's all subjective. I mean, I think you kept it more together than you did in crop circles.
You know what? I feel what are we like? I feel good about myself. I feel like I've come a long way. I've been venting to you guys outside of the podcast, and I feel like I have avoided getting angry.
But just a disclaimer: Nick is not a overtly angry person. I would say you don't have anger issues or anything, but like these hypotheticals bring it out in you.
Yeah, they do. They sure do. And I'm glad this one didn't take. I'm glad I let Jesus take the wheel on this one. So if you have a hypothetical you want us to talk about or a thought you'd like to share about today's episode, great news.
Great news.
You can just shoot us an email at hybrothoughts@gmail.com. And if you're not on the World Wide Web, you can't do this next thing either. You can also go on Facebook and give us a like at facebook.com/Hybrothetical Thinking. We're posting tons of cool content there. We got some great stuff to come. We have a very big announcement coming very soon that we're super excited about.
I like big announcements.
Yeah, we all like big announcements, and we're gonna announce it in the next week. It's coming.
Are we saying it's the next one?
It's coming,
guys. I don't even know what they're talking about, so I'm right here with you on the edge of my seat.
For the first time, I'm the only Taylor's. I'm not the one that doesn't know.
It's great. And if you don't subscribe to the podcast, it's the easiest way to keep getting our podcast downloaded directly to your phone. You can do that on Stitcher, iTunes, and TuneIn. And guess what? We're also on YouTube.
What? YouTube?
Yeah,
we are.
We're on YouTube. So just go on YouTube, search for Hybrothetical Thinking, and you can listen to all the episodes there. Leave your comments.
Give us thumbs up and shit.
give us thumbs up. And you know what? Make sure if you're on iTunes, just go to those 5 stars up there at the top. They're looking right at you in the eye, and they're just saying, hey, click me. But only click the 5th one, because that's going to get the Hybros in the top 100 in the comedy podcast. And that's all we want. And that's why we do what we do, because we just want to hit that top 100 spot. And if we bounce back out to 101, it's fine, because there were 101 Dalmatians and there always will be.
It's funny that this early on we're shooting for the stars, because I feel like a lot of podcasts this early don't even consider the top 100, but we're like trucking along at such a fast rate.
We got to be different.
I mean, we're going for the number 1 spot, Rogan.
Rogan, that means you. Listen, Rogan, we'd love to have you on the podcast.
One of us needs to start like officiating, I don't know, or like announcing some sport. Johnny, maybe you can announce some minor league soccer games, and that can get us on a trajectory. One of us needs to get on a TV show about a talk radio, and somebody else do a reality-based, fear-based show. And I think we're
Taylor.
on it.
Once you become a demigod, once you transform, that's all we need, baby.
Once you transform from a demigod.
That's all we need. Once you actually get into your final form and you expand into your natural form, we'll be all set.
Then you will see who I truly am.
Taylor's one step closer to his true form, because he's got the BDE.
I'm leveling up. Officially, someone termed, they coined something that I really jive with. I think it jives with my current being. Hey guys, I just want to say, if any of you people, any of you Hybros are out there in Temecula, California, head over to 28120 Jefferson Avenue, hit up our boy Kevin Beckbaugh, get yourself a sweet tattoo at Dark Helmet Tattoos, okay? Dark Helmet Tattoo, Kevin Beckbaugh, he's got some other great artists there. Check him out.
I love Kevin Beckbaugh.
I love him too.
Dude, he's the shit.
I love him almost as much as I love the excitement that is next week. Guys, we don't normally tease episodes coming.
We've never done that.
Yeah. This is a game changer. Taylor and I are going to team up for this next episode, and we're going to go and do something that has never been done, and we're going to have our first investigative episode.
Some serious investigative reporting, people.
Very investigative.
We are the source.
Is that
we will be
crazy
the source.
We are the source, and we actually have an anonymous source from this specific investigation that has never spoken out and is choosing to do so on this podcast. Yeah,
you're going to hear it for the
big.
first time. Maybe we will create a Wikipedia page so you know it's a fact.
Whoa.
Yeah. And this is a game. This is a game changer. It's an unsolved mystery, and hopefully we'll get closer to breaking it open. But let's hope we don't get too close, because we could be in trouble with the government. So find out next week.
I'll take my chances.
You're damn right, I will too.
That's wild.
I'm
not going to look into it. I'm not going to look into it.
Don't look into it. For the time being, until the government does shut us down, or until we get until we disappear from the face of this earth, I have been your host. I'm Nick.
I'm Creams.
I'm Plant.
What?
I love plants. I'm Johnny.
I love Lamp.
Oh, damn, it was Plant. I'm Johnny. I messed that up.
And that's Taylor.
Yeah, Taylor. I said Creams, but yeah, I'm Taylor.
What's Creams?
He likes ice cream.
Creams. I'm an ice cream guy. I'm a cream guy. My bandmates and my super badass band called Concrete Super Gun. My bandmates have dubbed me Creams. That's my nickname in the band. That's my stage name now.
I don't want that name.
Yeah. Well, it's for my love of the ice cream genre.
I know what it is.
Oh, how about this? How about some evidence before we leave? Evidence that we are controlling the fucking movement of the world right now, okay?
Uh-oh.
Somebody's been prying. I don't have Siri. I don't have an Amazon fucking talk box, whatever the fuck you call those things.
What do you have, Taylor? What do you have, Taylor?
Man, I got an LG Stylo too. Hopefully it's not listening to me right now. If it does, fuck you, LG Stylo 2. I hate
it. It's death for sure.
So, dude, this is not the first time this happened to me, but I manifest products that I really fucking want, okay? And one of these products is, if these people must know, I've been addicted to Haagen-Dazs chocolate peanut butter ice cream in the past. It's moved on to other ice creams, specifically Bluebell, cookies and cream. I've kicked both of those habits, guys. Officially kicked both those habits. Woo! I was at Publix yesterday, and I said, man, you know what? I'm going to go over to the ice cream section. I'm going to check out the sherbets. I'm going to see if there's anything fruit-based that I can munch on. You know, I wanted to get like some real fruit like ice pops, popsicles. They didn't have what I was looking for, and I ventured on to the Haagen-Dazs just to see what's new in the Haagen-Dazs world, you know. And first thing that I saw was a brand new flavor that I'd never seen before, and it was banana ice cream with swirled peanut butter. It had chocolate chips in it too, which was like whatever, but banana ice cream with peanut butter swirl is straight out of my fucking brain, dude. Somebody's reading our brains.
Oh, wait, you thought of that?
I can vouch for that.
I thought of that. Yeah, I vocalized it to Nick, I'm pretty sure.
We went to Kroger and we were looking for banana ice cream. Taylor's like, man, I really want some peanut butter banana ice cream.
Like,
there was only one banana ice cream that existed in the whole entire fucking ice cream aisle. And now it's a flavor that exists.
So
it exists. Not only does it exist, but one of my favorite brands is doing it.
That's so crazy, Taylor. But I'm gonna debunk that really quickly here.
Oh,
I'm
debunk
sorry.
it.
Here's the thing. So, all right, you had that opinion, you had that idea because you love ice cream. Well, somebody's out there making ice cream specifically for people to love. They're getting paid to make ice cream and come up with ideas.
But like right after he
I know it sounds crazy in the time frame. It sounds a little. I mean,
it was a week ago. It was less than a week ago.
If you're one of these guys who's creating ice cream flavors, why would you not be tapping into the creative consciousness of some of the greatest minds on our planet?
I like you,
Taylor Nelson.
I didn't say, you said it.
I agree.
But,
no, it's pretty crazy.
Dude, okay. This has happened before, and some say this is stupid, but I think it's directly connected to my spasms, my brain. It's involved in my brain. Okay, here I was, a young 18, 19-year-old Tayloris Nelsonius Maximus. I'm on the number 1 tee box at Centennial Golf Club, which is no longer there, RIP. About to tee off on hole number 1. I look over to my buddy Matt. I say, Matt, dude, how cool would it be? Okay, let me lay some ground info here. I played TaylorMade golf clubs. That was a brand name that I play. My name's Taylor, whatever. It's also like a leading brand. So TaylorMade golf clubs, their like flagship line of clubs is the Burner.
Yep.
So TaylorMade Burners, and they had the Thai Bubble 2s. So I played with Burners, and my driver was a 320 Ti. Okay, this was the thing. It was a TaylorMade blah, 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 something Ti. And it was not a burner, but it was in the line of burners. But they didn't call it a burner, right? So all of them are like Ti, Si, blah, 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 until you get
the SL1
to 420.
I had the 420 burner. I
had a 420 burner?
I have a 420 burner.
Shut the fuck up, Johnny.
Yeah. I used to, whenever I tee off, I'd say, light up. That's literally,
dude,
I swear
Johnny,
to God.
Dude.
It's at my house. I swear to God.
Bro, it's the driver that I currently use now, because as soon as I saw it existed, of course I fucking bought one.
Yeah,
but there I was, a young Taylor Nelson, talking to my friend Matt. I said, dude, how cool would it be if all the other drivers in this line weren't called burner, but then when they did a 420, they call it a burner.
And then it happened.
Then it happened, dude. So you try telling me that they're not going back in time, fucking with Sinbad's career, that they're not fooling around in my brain, they're not listening to me, trying to execute my ideas because they know how good they are.
I think it's safe to say that it's happening, but also with this podcast, there have been way too many coincidences so far, and many more to come.
It's because these things coincide with each other. They coincide, and it all has to do with my neurological activity. Yeah, I just want to point that out.
You're the secret, Taylor.
You are the secret.
The secret.
You're the secret.
You're the secret, Harry.